Hey, welcome back. Did you enjoy Pokemon Day? For today's video, I'm having a 3rd gen battle with Dhgss, but we restricted ourselves to things that can only be you can only get in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, like simulating some kind of metagame with the ports that they made for the Switch. So we only allowed Pokemon obtainable on these games, no transfer from Emerald or Colosseum XD, and also no egg moves that cannot be obtained on FireRed LeafGreen, also no items like the Salak Berry and all that kind of stuff that you won't be able to get on the Switch version of this game. So yeah, anyway, he lead with an Aerodactyl. I had a Gengar, so I went into my rock resisting to Quagsire. I'm using a Sandstorm Toxic Spike Steam, so this Quagsire is filling the role that a Swampert would have on those kind of teams. He's going to reveal Snorlax on the switch in. As I went for a Toxic, I was surprised here that the Snorlax didn't have immunity as it had thick fat, so I could be able to poison it with a Toxic and then switch into Skarmory, which takes the poison really well. Fortunately, no paralysis for me there, and this will allow me to set up a layer of spikes, which is pretty helpful for this team, as my opponent is going to reveal an Starmie. Starmie can go for the rapid spin, but I'm just going to stay with the Skarmory after thinking about it and go for the Toxic. In case he gets rid of my spikes, if he's Toxic, I can set another layer and he will be taking more damage to the Toxic. But instead of going for the rapid spin, he's going to go for the Surf, do some decent damage. So now after this turn, I will be switching out the Skarmory, expecting that maybe now he's going to go for the rapid spin and then switch out. So I'm going to my spin blocker, which is Gengar. This Gengar has some good special defense investment, as he's going to go for the Surf. Surf still going to do some nice damage, and I still don't know if this Starmie has the Psychic or not. I don't want to risk it and lose my Gengar, so if it's a moment to use Psychic, it's this. So I'm going to send my Tyranitar, but my opponent's also going to switch and send the Snorlax again. Now I have some Pokemon on his side poison, the spikes, we have one layer set up, and the sand is up, so all of that is going to rack up some damage. So my Tyranitar will stay here on the Snorlax, go for Rock Slide. It seems to be a 2-hit KO from this range with all the residual damage. Snorlax will show Earthquake, which my Tyranitar can take really well. This is a Dragon Dance set, but the bulky one. And as you may have seen there, I have Taunt on this set. Spoiler alert, that's going to play a huge role on this battle, but more on that later. I'm going to go with Rock Slide again, but he's going to preserve that Snorlax, reveal a Skarmory, and here's where the Taunt is very important. The Taunt is basically for Skarmory. Well, when I built the team, the first thing that I thought was to use Tyranitar, because the Tyranitar is already really good in 3rd gen, and with no Swampert available here, I think it's even better. So my plan here is to taunt the Skarmory, but first I'm going to set up one Dragon Dance, because if I go straight for the taunt, then he will immediately switch out as I Dragon Dance, and with only one Dragon Dance, his Aerodactyl will still be faster than my Tyranitar. So the plan here is to first Dragon Dance and then go for the taunt. That will allow him to set one layer of spikes, but that's a good price to pay for setting a second Dragon Dance as the Skarmory switches out. So yeah, and besides that, my team only has 2 Pokemon that are affected by the spikes, so it's not a huge deal. So here, as he switches the Skarmory that is taunted into the Snorlax as fodder, I'm setting the second Dragon Dance, and now my T-Tar is faster than all of his Pokemon and with +2 in attack. Here, seeing that the damage that Snorlax did with Earthquake before, I could have gone for a 3rd Dragon Dance, but I thought that was too greedy there was a chance that he went for Earthquake and got a critical hit, or that he went with a Body Slam and got the Paralysis, which would have been very detrimental to the T-Tar. So in the end, I just finished him off with the Earthquake. It was too risky to set up a third Dragon Dance. So yeah, anyway, here comes Aerodactyl, Rock Slide, boom! That's the Aerodactyl. I bet that I think that his best hope was to fish for a Rock Slide miss there, but yeah, that didn't happen fortunately, and now the Aerodactyl is down. Now he's going to send Starmie, being at +2, and after the damage that he took from the spikes and the sand, I thought, okay, Earthquake might be a one-hit KO there, and luckily it was. So Starmie, boom, you also went down. Now he's going to send Skarmory. And here I'm going to make a huge mistake. Went straight for the Rock Slide instead of taunting him. There was no risk on going for the taunt. That will allow him to roar me out, and on top of that, my Rock Slide missed, so not only did he face my Tyranitar, but he didn't take any damage. A +2 Rock Slide would have done a lot there. So yeah, anyway, the roar sent out my Quagsire. I want to switch out immediately from there, expecting the Toxic, send my Gengar, which is immune to that. And well, this Gengar doesn't have the Will-O-Wisp because that's an illegal move here, because it's an egg move from Duskull. So instead, this Gengar has the Thief, which is the move that I'm going to go now. He switches out into a T-Tar. And yeah, with that, my Gengar will steal the leftovers, so this T-Tar is on a timer on how many times can switch in because of the spikes. So yeah, here I could have switched out, but I thought maybe this T-Tar has the Pursuit, so I'm going to stay, go for the Giga Drain, do a nice chunk. That's a bulky T-Tar because it took really not too much from that super effective move, and indeed he went for the Pursuit, so good thing that I decided to stay there. So yeah, this Gengar, which has some special defense ball, took the Pursuit really well, because it was not boosted, and in the end he will decide to switch the T-Tar out, reveal a Raikou. If you are playing FireRed or LeafGreen, the Switch version, I don't recommend you to use any of the Legendary Beast, because there is a glitch on those games that don't allow you to get good IVs for those Pokemon, but we didn't restrict ourselves to that in this battle. Anyway, having a Raikou on your team might be better than an Ampharos, even with the bad IVs. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to deal with this Raikou. I'm going to go straight for the Explosion, but he set up a substitute, so boom, down goes my Gengar. But at least I could get rid of that substitute, and now I have my T-Tar, which can easily knock out the Raikou from this range. Raikou is a huge threat to my team, that's why I decided just to explode there, because I don't want him to be setting Calm Minds for free. But yeah, anyway, he will preserve it for later. Send out the Skarmory again, as I went with the Rock Slide, expecting that he could switch into it. I didn't want to go with the Earthquake. Anyway, Skarmory took that really well. And now I won't make the same mistake again. I'm going to go for the Taunt, not allow him to go for that Toxic there. And here I'm going to start setting up again. I could have used this turn to set up to switch into my Zapdos that I have in the back, but yeah, instead I decided to stay, set up a Dragon Dance, and then start attacking with the Rock Slide, which at +1 is going to do some more decent damage. Skarmory is still pretty bulky, so it doesn't seem to be even a 3-hit KO. He's just locked into Drill Peck now that he's taunted, but T-Tar takes that really well. I can stay here for days. Now I'm going to go for another Rock Slide instead of the taunt, so he will be able to roar me out again, but now this Skarmory is pretty crippled. The Quagsire will be sent out. And now, okay, I decided at this moment that it was time to reveal my Zapdos, I can switch into the Skarmory pretty easily because no spikes weakness, and also this Zapdos has the Lamberry, so if he goes for the Toxic, which was the move that he selected, I can recover from that easily. And now just kill this annoying Skarmory with T-Bolt. So yeah, finally the Skarmory will go down, and now my opponent has only 2 Pokemon left, the T-Tar and the Raikou. His T-Tar is specially defensive, so he will go into that, but I have a little surprise for him. When I built this team, I thought, maybe Use will want to use Blissey, so I decided to offer a mixed Zapdos with Drill Peck and Hidden Power Fighting, which will come very handy in this situation because it will one-shot T-Tar from that range. And now his last one is the Raikou, which has already taken a lot of damage. Now it takes more from the spikes. It has the lefties, but that will be negated by the by the Sandstorm, so I will just stay. He will set up a Calm Mind, not knowing at this point that my Hidden Power is physical. I'm going to go for that, but still this Raikou is too bulky, will survive that, but with the Sandstorm damage it will finally go down, and that's going to be game for me. So yeah, good game, Juice. It ended up being a bit one-sided thanks to that T-Tar set that I decided to use. I think it's a really good set for this metagame, especially since there is no Swampert. You don't need Hidden Power to cover for Claydol, Celebi, or anything of those checks that T-Tar has, so you can run the Taunt to stop Skarmory cold. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we are seeing you next time. Peace.